cArn from fnatic. They just won against Frag Executors in the grand final at GameGune 2010. Explain a bit what happened in the match. You started off on train with a pretty solid lead, and then it ended up in overtime. What happened?
Yeah, starting out with a huge lead. We were favored to pick CT because there was a Frag Executor's choice of map. Starting out very well. I think we won the pistol rounds, a couple of gun rounds, and we pretty much knew exactly where the Polish guys attacked. So we ended up with 12 rounds, which should be enough in order to seal the deal and take it to the second map coming from loser bracket. But I think Frag Executors might be the best team who is able to do comebacks. It's not the first time we've seen that. I remember, especially in the WCD Finals 2009, very tight games ending to overtimes, and the IM Finals Season 3, where we, as terrorists on Nuke, just smashed them. We just got 12 rounds as attackers, and they pretty much did the same thing to us. And of course, those old thoughts starts to bug in your head when you keep losing. You got the 50 round, but you need to get one more round to win the map. But they got strong AWPs, which is really good on train. So we were just playing obvious for them. I think they just waited our attacks, and they felt confidence and did some really nice pushes with good timing. So ending up in an overtime, and I think it's probably the first time I ever win against Polish guys in a final. I can't really remember when it was the last time, and especially winning on overtime. So it feels a bit like revenge from the WCD 2009 finals. The overtime, which I think it was 4 overtimes. Now we won in the 3rd overtime, making it to the second map. So it feels good.
Coming from the lower bracket, you had to win 2 maps. Then you started off on exact same manner as you did on train.
Yeah.
Big lead on Nuke, and then it kind of went the same way. What happened?
Pretty much as the same as train. CS is all about, not all about, but it's all about having the aim and keeping your minds cold. We had the aim as terrorists, but when we swapped to CT, we made some stupid mistakes, saved out too many times, I believe, and invited them into the game. And maybe they felt, well, we did it in train, we can do it on Nuke as well. And this time we didn't have the 15 round lead, so it's actually could have gone either way. I feel there. I started to feel when they were at 9 rounds, I believe, we're at 2, that we're actually losing this. But somehow randomness and fate, I guess, because it's actually the third time I'm winning the game down from loser bracket. So yeah, keeping up the traditions, I guess.
Speaking of winning a tournament from the lower bracket, is that any different than winning a tournament coming from the upper bracket or playing single elimination?
Well, of course it's different, because in a double elim you can choose the maps and the sides. You don't really have that in the best of 3 tournaments, where you can eliminate maps. And I'm particularly thinking about Navi coming here, who usually eliminates D-Nuke, and ending up in the consolation finals against us on Nuke. So that was really good for us. And speaking about the final, of course you're winning the first map, but every team on this level are able to just forget about the old one and refocus and see it as a new game, which we saw here against the Polish team, who they pretty much just, even that they kept losing in the second map, they knew that when they were attackers, they could do the same thing as we did. And yeah, it's all about mindset as well, but to be honest, I prefer the best of 3. It's more like World Cup of soccer, which I like to compare esports with sometimes. That, yeah, you have a bad day, you lose, and in World Cup you have 4 years to next tournament, but for us, another tournament coming up next week, so we can really live with having best of 3 single elim. Yeah, so I prefer single elim, definitely.
So Guts is back. It's the first tournament. It's joined just a matter of days before. What is your feelings towards Guts playing in the team?
I think we gained some energy, of course. We were bleeding a bit lately. Fnatic MSI has, back as far as I can remember, we're not going to tournaments, and we lose 2 tournaments in a row in the first playoff. So we didn't really know what to think there. And yeah, we were bleeding. And if you bleed, good new blood can be the cure. of course, bringing a Gux from the old lineup felt very natural. We parted away in departure in the beginning of this year. I think if you look back at it, what happened. There was a reason for it, but Gux has always, in my eyes, been one of the best players in the world. And he was playing for SK. Everybody knows the story already. But we picked him, we came here, and maybe we felt the vibe of being back in 2009, where we literally ruled the world for a couple of months, winning 6 titles in a row, I believe. So of course, you start to think about how it was back then, and using the energy from having a new player, playing simple rounds, very aim-based, as we haven't really done in the past, this year at least, because we maybe had too many tactical guys in the team. But now it was a really walk in the park for me as an in-game leader during GameGune. I think I literally just stand in the lobby and Nuke, for example, with the bomb, waiting for the kills to happen, and it happens. So it's always nice to see the young guys deliver. It makes it easy for myself and of course for the team.
I remember in Stockholm you told me that if you're top fragging, there's something totally wrong.
Yeah, it is. Well, of course I can top frag and we're winning matches, but I mean, I think Forest, Get-Right and Gux, if they are top fragging, they can just win any round with the confidence. And if those guys having a bad day, it's obviously something gonna hurt their team. And look at the game. There are different roles in the team. Everybody just have to fit in their own roles. So yeah, if I top frag, we can win, but usually that's a bad sign, of course.
So next week it's Shanghai. Then there's the possibility of a lot of other tournaments. We all know you got mixed into some, let's say, argument with World Cyber Games as you filed a complaint. In theory, that could rule you out of missing World Cyber Games and eventually Samsung European Championship. What is your feelings about this?
Well, WCG has always been a dream for me to win, because that is one of few titles I never won in my career. But I started to realize that after being to 2 tournaments now, WCG, I don't really consider it that important for me to win that tournament before I quit. And my first point is, I think the tournaments are not as competitive as I am finalists, because they restrict the amount of teams from different nations. And if you look at the Scandinavian region, we got so many top teams that have that in the past, winning so many gold medals, silver medals, and bronze medals, I believe. And now they're just letting one team from Scandinavia. It's just ridiculous. And also playing in the WC 2009 final was very disappointing. We lost the first map, of course. We shouldn't have lost that. But then they tell us to go down from the stage and let a Samsung mobile game take over the stage. I think it was 8,000 people following it on location. It was a very intense game. And then we just told us, now you need to unplug, go to the sit down in the regular the area and play the rest of the game. It felt really disappointing being like, I mean, you don't move away a game in the second half in soccer. Of course, soccer came many years ahead of esports, but I don't think WCD is doing a great job for the teams, for the players, but they are promoting Samsung very nice. So, I don't know, that's just my opinion.
Thank you for your time, and I wish you best of luck in Shanghai.
Thanks.